These islands in the South Atlantic have two names. To the people who live there and to Britain, they are the Falkland Islands. But to their closest neighbour across the sea, Argentina, and its people, they are las Islas Malvinas. The debate over what to call these islands is a symbol of a much larger dispute, one that has raged for hundreds of years and continues to this day. But in April of 1982, that debate became a conflict, one which would take the lives of nearly 1,000 people. But for Argentina, it wasn't meant to be that way. In fact, when Argentina invaded the Falkland Islands, they believed that Britain wouldn't even respond. In this 5-episode series, we're going to take an in-depth look at the Falklands conflict, with individual episodes exploring the fighting at sea, in the air and on land, plus an exploration of how the Falklands conflict impacted the modern world. But first, we need to understand why the war happened in the first place. Why did Argentina believe they could take the Falklands without a fight? What was the invasion actually like? And why did Britain choose to fight for these islands 8,000 miles from home? Situated in the inhospitable South Atlantic Ocean, the Falklands provide a valuable strategic location to rest and refit. The British first arrived in 1690, but left the islands uninhabited until the late 1700s, when they were occupied at different times by France, Britain and Spain. Britain erected a plaque claiming ownership of the islands, but left a few years later, leaving the Spanish in control, as they were in much of South America. When that Spanish colony fell apart in the early 1800s, Argentina instead lay claim to the islands. But not before in 1833, British Marines returned to reassert British rule for good. Argentina continued to claim the land, but the Falklands were governed along with South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands as the Falkland Island dependencies into the 1980s.
About half the population of 1800 live in Stanley, the world's most southerly capital. The remainder live in what is called the camp, comprising sheep farms. The climate, most charitably described as invigorating, is harsh. The people are all of UK origin, many being the descendants of settlers who first came to the islands over 150 years ago. The Queen's representative is the governor, appointed from UK. He's the senior civil administrator, to whom the island's elected council is responsible.
So this is the dress uniform of the governor of the Falkland Islands, Rex Hunt, later Sir Rex Hunt. And indeed there are many postings around the world today where diplomatic staff are required to wear ceremonial uniforms exactly like this. It's meant to evoke symbols of power, evoke symbols of control, represented and embodied in the figure of the governor, quite a powerful symbol of both the way in which the islanders saw their relationship to the crown and the way in which the Argentinians viewed the presence of the British as some kind of imperial hangover or legacy.